Hey, thanks for joining. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Catherine, thanks. Got some people out here. Wait a minute, let me get back to a normal screen here for you guys, okay? Sorry. I gotta hit something. 1 second. 1 second. Normal screen. Okay. Bam. Tammy, thanks for joining. Carmen. Catherine, thank you. Where's my Bruno? Niff. Michael. Hey, Michael, how are you, Salerno? Tom, thanks for joining, people. I appreciate it. Thanks. We're going to have a cool show today. It's going to be interesting. And if you love food, come on. I mean, you're going to love this. If you love food, you're going to love this. I'm telling you right now, especially Italian food. So, welcome to Tutti GIMBOTTA. Hey, Tam, how are you, beautiful? Mwah. Thanks for joining, Tam. I forgot to put my headphones in. I'm sorry. I'm doing this little tutte stunada. Forget. Hey, Jennifer from Colorado. How you doing, babe? Where are you in Colorado? Denver? Boulder? Aspen? Perhaps? Do you know my friend out there? Who else we got? Hey, Alfonso, come sta, bello? Come sta? Minchia. I love it. Alfonso, look, you got me so nervous I dropped my headphone. Minchia. Aspetta. Wait, I got to put this one in now. I don't see my guests on here yet. Where are you? Michael, join this now. Where are you? Let me see. Give me a minute. Bear with me, because I hate when, let me see. I'm just going to send him a message. Are you on the video? Okay. All right, we'll see. Here's the deal. If Michael doesn't get on, one of you people are. Hey, Tiff! Aw, thank you. You're my hottie girl, too. Thank you, Tiff. I love you, sister friend. Thanks for joining. Gloria, Mark. Oh, Mark Colucci. What's going on? Leela, Sam, Charlie Aiello. I didn't forget about you, Charlie. I'll never forget it. We were doing a gig out in Montreal. Oh, we were going to Montreal and then some other place way upstate New York that was named after Indians. Remember? God forgive me. I didn't mean that. I mean Native Americans. Excuse me for saying that. Dana, what's going on? Oh, where's Michael? You're related to him. I cannot say the last name. Jennifer, outside of Brighton. Oh, you do have family in Aspen? Let's see if they have a house that we could borrow. We'll all go down for the weekend. Charlie, you're so funny. And there was this big, we were starving, where all the girls were the Italian chicks were in the car heading out, going on this gig, and we're starving. We've been driving for like hours, and we see this sign. It says Aiello's Restaurant. We're like, oh my God, Danny Aiello endorses the show. We might as well go to Aiello's Restaurant. And we went in there, and this man, Charlie, and his family and his team, they were just amazing to us, and it's the best Italian food. Charlie, if you can write the name of the town that you're in, I'd be happy to mention it, because if anybody's passing through on the way to Montreal or like way upstate New York, please go in and stop and see Charlie, okay? It's Aiello's Restaurant. Sheridan Blow, thank you for coming on. I certainly do appreciate you joining. I much appreciate it. You love Italian food, Tiffy girl? Okay, I don't see my guest right now, but I hope he's getting there. He said he's trying, so we'll see. There he is. I see him. He just got on. Just stay there, Michael. I'll pull you on, okay? Stay where you are, and I'll get you in shortly, so don't move, okay? We're going to get Michael in a few seconds here, but I want to just tell you a few things right now that are going on. Thanks for joining Tutti GIMBOTTA, which means, translation, a little bit of everything. Thrown in a pot and you cook it, and that's what my mother used to do all the time, all right? All right, Charlie Aiello's Restaurant is in Whitney Point, New York, right off of 81 North. If you're up that way heading there, please go check out the restaurant. It's great. Jennifer, perfect. I love Leslie. You know Leslie? Oh, my God. Amy's on. Thank you for joining, Amy. And Mike, just stay there. We're going to get you on in a few minutes. I see your little tag, so that's great. Hang in there, Mike. Have a little shot of Zambuca while you're waiting for me, okay, dude? Thanks, Mike. So this weekend, people, get ready. We're going to have a lot of snow. They're saying snow, and some stations are saying no snow. Lynn, what's going on? So this is what happens now. When they can't predict, either two things. We get nothing, or we get a massive snowstorm. So I have no idea what's going on, all right? But I was watching Channel 7 News, ABC. I don't know, Exit 8. Thanks, Charlie. Okay, I'll say that later on. Dawn, thank you. I do all my shout-outs in the beginning, and we do them at the end. And please, if you want to ask my guest, Michael, any questions about food, you do so. But I don't know if you people saw this on ABC News. There was a guy in New York City, in like, not like the penthouse area, like, maybe the East Village, all right? And you know where they have like doorbells outside and you got to ring the doorbell? There's like 18,000 bells, right? This guy, there was a video of him licking the doorbells for 3 hours. I mean, you had to see this video. Like, you have to be committed to some kind of fetish to want that. I don't understand. But I saw this on the news this morning. It was upsetting. Then, sadly, this woman was waiting for prescription drugs to be delivered. She had an eye infection. She gets this stuff and she puts it in her eye. Turns out what she got, I swear to God, it's not a joke. Right, Ralph, thanks for joining. What did she get? They sent her the wrong prescription. It was for erectile dysfunction cream to treat her eye condition. Oh my God, which is where the line came from. Oh my, what big eyes you have, right? So, come on, let's get going, people. I want to tell you about my guest. His name, Michael, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. You're going to have to tell me your last name because I don't want to mispronounce it. But after the show, I'm going to edit the video, and you have to join his page. What do you mean you can't hear me, Michael? But you can see me? Do you have your headphones on? Do you have your phone on Do Not Disturb? Oh, we're going to see what happens here if I bring Michael in. My niece, Chrissy, just joined. Thanks for joining, Chrissy. Did I see, wait a minute, Catherine, did you see the newscaster that did the forecast with how many bottles of wine you'll need? No, I didn't. What did they do? Tell me about it. Jerry Parisi, thanks for joining. All right, I hope, Michael, you better put your headphones on and let's see what happens. So, Michael, his page, I'll put it on the edited version of this video when I'm done with the show, is called Cooking, Hey Aim, Cooking with the Kingfish. And his story, it sounds like the beginning of Goodfellas. His story began in his family's basement in Brooklyn. It's almost like, all my life, I always wanted to be a gangster. You know what I mean? Thanks. He's a home cook for over 25 years and a personal chef. And he also believes that food brings family and friends together. So please welcome my friend, Kingfish. We should be getting him in right this second. We're going to be talking food. Oh, my God. Hey, Miguel, how are you? Can you hear me, Mike? Can you hear me?
You don't hear me either? Hold on.
Oh, I heard a... I can hear you. I got you. I hear you now. That was perfect, whatever you did. Whatever you did a minute ago, I heard you.
Hold on.
Okay, honey. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Aim. Oh, I got you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you could hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you, no. Let me see if I can take it off Do Not Disturb, maybe. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Take your headphones off out of curiosity. Let's see.
Hold on, let me see.
Okay, bear with us.
Let me leave and come back, Maryann, okay?
No,
Let me leave and come back.
Stay on. Just take off your... Yeah, we've done this before. People love it. Gennaro, come stai? How's my friend? Yo, ma.
I wish my sister was here. She could read your lips. She's a good lip reader.
Take off your headphones. You might be able to hear me. Take your headphones, unplug them.
All right, hold on.
All right. Just bear with us, folks. We're having some technical difficulties. And
I still can't hear you.
Okay. Eric, my buddy, how are you, man? I miss you so much, dude. Can you hear me now? Mike? Mike, can you hear me?
Unplug.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Still can't hear you.
You still can't hear me? What did you do differently from the other day? This is so weird. All right, you know what I'll do? I'll take my headphones out, all right?
Everything's up.
Your volume is up, or your volume is up on your phone?
No, it must be a setting on this phone.
It's the phone that we use to test with. Bruno, you're right.
Let me go into the settings. Let me go into the settings real quick.
Go ahead, honey. Take your time. Don't worry. I'm very good at... Niffer. Yes, I love that. Tell your wife I love that she's giving you directions. Well, he can't hear me. It doesn't help. We got to do that song. Whoop, whoop. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Hey, hey, ah. Gennaro, what's going on? I know you got this
Hold
guy's
on.
really cool. You're gonna love him. You, Trisha, what's going on? Vinny Gumba. Hey, Vincenzo, come esta? How are you, Vincenzo? What are you doing? Thanks for joining, Trisha. Thanks for joining. Got a lot of people here waiting for you. They're all getting hungry. You hear me? You hear
I
me,
can
Mike?
hear you. Hold on. I had to take.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I
Let me get my picture back up. I had to take Do Not Disturb off.
That's so weird.
It was the, yeah, I know. It was the Do Not Disturb. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready.
All right, cool. All right. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Maryann, how are you?
Now you
Nothing
feel
ever goes smooth.
Nothing. Don't worry
Nothing
about
ever
it.
goes.
It happens all the time. But we got a lot of people on here. Everybody's getting hungry, which is really good. I told them, listen, here's the deal. We're all Italian here. Eric, I love you, baby boy. I love you so much. We're all Italian, and even if you're not Italian, we all tend to. I'm an emotional eater. I eat when I'm sad, and I eat when I'm happy.
Yep,
right? That's what we do.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
I think when we're Italian, I think as when we were growing up, our families were prone to, like, if you felt sad, they'd be like, oh, come on, baby, yeah, have a cannoli, right?
Finish what's on your plate. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Finish what's on your plate. There's people starving in different parts of the world, right?
Right. So your story is so unique, and I'm going to put up your like page on the video when we're done, which is cooking with the Kingfish. But your story started out in your family's basement 25 years ago, and that's how you got your name, Kingfish. Okay.
That's right.
Tell everybody how you got your name.
Well, I mean, basically, the name, I gave it to myself at about 7 or 8 years old. I would spend a lot of time down my basement. My dad had a fish tank down there. Mm-hmm. And my brother and sister, they're, a few years older than me. So they were teenagers. They were out and about. A lot of times at 7 and 8 years old, you weren't allowed to go play outside. You were too young. So I would go down my basement, and I would just imagine that, like, the fish were like, in their own little universe. And I was just kind of in charge of them, king of the fish.
Right. The Kingfish.
So, yeah. So it's like, the story's a little more in detail, on my Cooking with the Kingfish page. There's a few other little details, but that's basically it.
I loved it. I
would love if you gave me a couple of minutes, I would love to take you on, like, a virtual tour on where I grew up. Like, I would love to make believe we're walking through the streets, and I could just tell you all the stores that I remember back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, we were talking the other day, and we were talking about Spumoni Garden in Brooklyn.
Right. Yep.
And you said to me, because I don't remember the original, I remember the one that's there now.
Well, that is technically the original.
Oh, it is.
Technically, technically that's the original. You want me to go into the story a little bit?
Sure, I would love it. I think it's great.
Okay. All right. So I lived in Gravesend, Brooklyn, which bordered on one side Bath Beach and Bensonhurst. Mm-hmm. So it was predominantly, large Italian neighborhood, of course.
Right.
And my friend's house that he grew up in was owned by the owner of LMB Spumoni Gardens back in the 1930s. Wow. And his garage, where we used to hang out and play and all the time, was actually where LMB started. It started in that garage. The Barbati family, I believe. He learned how to make pizzas from an Italian baker, and he used to peddle them on a horse and wagon. If you go to LMB's website and you go to our story, it'll actually be mentioned in there. It'll actually be mentioned West 8th Street.
Wow.
Not the exact house, but yeah.
Right.
And, growing up, my mother used to tell me, LMB started, you never think of it as a kid. It's not a big deal. Right. And now, especially I'm into cooking now, now it's a big deal. I played in the garage where LMB was started. I mean, to me, that's pretty cool, but.
It is. I think it's great. And that was where the original Spumoni Garden was.
Well, that's where he was based out of originally. And then he walked the streets with a horse and carriage.
Jesus Christ, huh? Unbelievable, right? But they still, I have to say, they still have the best Spumoni.
Yeah.
I think so.
There's not too many places that have Spumoni like the Spumoni Gardens.
That's right.
Their pizza's unique. Their pizza's unique as well. I mean, there's other places that make it like them too, but with the mozzarella on the bottom and the sauce on the top. That's what
Hmm.
they're known for their
Right.
Sicilian squares. But but like you said, and the restaurant's really good too.
Yes.
Now they have a restaurant attached, and
Yes.
you could go in there, tell the waiter, surprise me, and he'll bring you out, different stuff. It's a nice place. Outside in
Yeah.
the summertime, you have all the picnic benches.
Yeah, it's a whole different environment. It really is. I love it. I go there. Actually, I go there once a year because I take a 1 year. Not that I was born in Brooklyn, but I have a lot of friends that
Uh-huh.
were born in Brooklyn, and it just seems like when the summer comes, we always go once a year and go back, and we go to Spumoni Gardens and we eat like a bunch of gabons, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yep. That's it.
we have the Spumoni, and then we just go on to Coney Island and walk on the beach for a minute, and then get in the car and go. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and there is other stuff in Brooklyn. There's see, I grew up on West 8th Street, like I said, between
Hmm.
Avenue S and Avenue T.
Okay.
And on my corner, there was three stores. There was Doc's Pharmacy, which later turned into a window store that I ended up working on in part-time. But next to that was Santo's Bakery, Clementi's Pork Store, which we call Clemmy's. So you
Wow.
had everything you needed right there at your corner. You had a drugstore, a bakery, and a pork store. So what else do you need
Right.
as an Italian growing up, right? But there was more. I mean, one block up was Avenue U. Okay. Now, as a
Right.
kid, we wouldn't call it Avenue U. I still don't call it Avenue U. It doesn't flow off the tongue that well, so we call it
Right.
Avenue U. It was
Avenue
Avenue
U.
U. We're going to
Right.
Avenue U. Yeah, Avenue U. And
It's
Avenue
great.
U was all different stores. You would see the ladies. The ladies would walk around with these foldable shopping carts, these
Hmm.
upright foldable shopping carts on two wheels, and they would
Right.
walk up and down, and that's what they would shop with. There was fish markets. There was Famart was a well-known like house store where they sold stuff for the house. There was about three or four Famart stores.
Uh-huh.
There was Tavernas, which was a five and dime. Mazzoli's coffee shop, where he had imported coffee,
Oh my
Italian
gosh.
candies, ravioli stores, pizzerias. There was cafes and social clubs. There was just so much. There was Joe's Bar and Grill on Avenue U, which was a small place, but they were known for gabuzelle. You know what
Oh my God.
gabuzelle is?
Gabizelle, the head of the goat. Oh
Yeah,
my God. When I was a little
sliced in
kid,
half. Yeah, they used to make it goat or lamb. They would make it. Yeah,
always at
and
Easter, at Easter time, right? They'd make it.
yeah, around Easter time. Yes, yes. And that was there. And then just a block down is another pretty famous place. I mean, LMB is pretty famous, but then there's Joe's of Avenue U.
Hmm.
Joe's of Avenue U is a pretty famous place that you go there, you get the rice ball special. They
Oh,
split a big rice ball in half.
oh, I'm
They top it
starving now.
with sauce, ricotta, caciovello cheese.
Oh,
They have let's see what else they have. They have panels, I think, where they make up it's like a fried chickpea patty,
oh
and you
my
have that on a
God.
sandwich. And then it was more Sicilian. They also had something called vasteda. You ever hear of
No, what's
vasteda?
that? What's that?
It's not too appetizing, but back in the day, they used to make it from the lung of veal. So it was made out of veal lung.
Oh,
I know exactly. But today, they're not allowed to use lungs. So what they do is they use spleens. So they use veal spleen.
oh my nuts.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know but let me tell you something. The sandwich is good. They slice it, they boil it, they fry it, and then they top it with ricotta and cheese. But I mean, you top anything with ricotta and cheese, it's going to taste good,
I
right?
was just gonna say, you fry anything with ricotta and cheese, and it's like, oh, it's a home run, right? Unbelievable. Holy jeez, that's scary. I do remember the gabatelli because when I was little, and my father was born in Italy, okay, Reggio Calabria. And he would bring, every year, like he'd bring somebody from his family over. So we always had a full house for a Sunday dinner. And I remember it was Easter and I had I was little. I must have been like, 6 years old or something. And we're all running around the dining room table. My mom's putting stuff down. And all of a sudden I'm running, like laughing, go, ha ha. And I look down and I go, ah, because I saw this goat. And I was like, what the hell is this goat? Right?
The eyeball,
Yes. And I was
right?
like,
The
oh.
eyeball, the teeth, everything staring right at
And
you.
then they suck the eyeball. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yep.
poof,
And I have to say, I've done it before just to do it.
oh,
You know,
really?
I grew up eating everything.
Right.
I mean, my mother was a great cook, and I grew up eating everything. So, dinner time would be like she would serve a first course. There was actually two courses. She would serve a first course, which
Wow.
usually was like a pasta and broccoli, or pasta and broccoli rabe, or pasta and cauliflower. It was just something like that as a small dish for a first course. As a kid, I never really ate it because I wasn't into like the broccoli rabe back then. Now I
Right,
love
right.
it. But,
Yes, me too. So,
and then you would have you. Go
so,
ahead.
so tell me, what are some of your favorite dishes to make?
I make everything, okay, and I'm Italian American. I don't I never say that anything I cook is authentic Italian or traditional Italian
Hmm.
because I've never grown up in Italy, so I can't say that.
Right.
So everything I make, I say is Italian American. It has it's Italian but with a little bit of American influence to it.
Sure.
So I mean I make everything, to be honest with you. On my page, it's 95% Italian American food, but I'll make other ethnicities as well. Some of my favorite, spaghetti and clams.
Oh my God.
I love making that. My father taught me how to open clams myself. Spaghetti with crab sauce. He taught me how to clean crabs and stuff like that.
So do you make a red sauce with the
For the
crabs?
crabs, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, for the crabs. And on my page, there's videos. I have videos broken down to 1 and 2 minutes, like sped up.
Hmm.
And there's linguine and clams. There's my crab sauce. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the Cooking with the Kingfish page.
Oh my
There really,
God.
yeah. If you just go on like the video or the photo section and click whatever you want, usually the recipe will be right there as well.
Oh, that's great to know
But
because then people could just follow your page and then say, oh, I want to make this for dinner and pop up your video at
yeah.
the same time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And believe it or not, sometimes I don't know what I want to make. I go back to my page and I go looking. I scroll through everything and I'm like, all right, maybe we'll make this tonight,
Right, right, right. So
And
basically, you like more fish dishes, or do you prefer more of a like
no,
a?
no, not necessarily. I mean, I love fish. Like I
Mhm.
said, I grew up eating everything. We ate octopus. We ate snails. I mean, me and my sister, sometimes we'll get sea urchins, aites, they call it. And we'd have that one. So just to, be something a little different.
Right, right.
But I mean, I love a good steak. I love chicken.
Hmm.
I eat everything. There's nothing I don't eat or really don't make.
Well, you know what I'm becoming a big fan of, and I think it's part of like sometimes when you go out to an Italian restaurant, which is rare for me because when you're Italian, you typically don't go to an Italian restaurant because you go, they don't make the sauce the same way. They don't make the great, you know what I mean? Um,
Right.
but a friend of mine just said something that made me laugh so much that now I lost my train of thought. I'm reading the comments here as we're going. A lot of comments about you too with the rice balls and all this other stuff. A lot of people remembering stuff in Brooklyn, which is great. But
Yeah.
oh, this is what I was going to say. My favorite thing now, and I do this with a lot of things, whether I'm using pork, whether I'm using chicken, but I like to make like more of a marinara sauce. And
Hmm.
a light marinara with onions and
Right.
garlic and all that basil. And then I throw in Kalamata olives. I throw in onions and I throw in artichoke hearts.
Yes, those are all great things to add in,
Yeah.
and
And then I pour it right
I,
over the chicken. Oh, it's amazing.
it's funny you mentioned Kalamata olives. There's a restaurant. There is an Italian restaurant we go to near my house. It's the only one we really go to because we just like the atmosphere. We like the food.
Hmm.
It's called Piccolo's Restaurant in Belmore, and the
Oh,
reason
okay.
why when you said Kalamata olives is when I go there, I actually deviate from the menu and they accommodate because they have
Oh, that's
my favorite
nice.
dish. Yeah, my favorite dish is fried calamari fra diavolo, and I
Oh,
always ask them, can you please add pepperoncini, chopped pepperoncini, and calamari olives. So
yes.
and we
Oh,
always ask for our favorite waitress, Sophia. She's a doll. So that I mean that just struck in my head when you said calamari olives.
right. Yeah. Well, that kind
Yeah.
of makes everything taste good too. It's part of
Yes.
puttanesca sauce, right? Gina Scarda. Hey,
Yes.
yeah, it's right by you,
Capers.
Gina, by Belmore. But capers and Kalamata olives. It's like throw it in
Yes.
anything, and it's like okay. And but
Yeah.
puttanesca, you need anchovies, right?
Yeah. There's anchovies and puttanesca.
Mm-hmm.
And like all these dishes, I mean, people vary too. You don't like anchovies, you leave it out. I mean,
Right.
you have to cook. You have to cook to what you like. Not what. Listen, I have linguine and clams or spaghetti and clams. I mean, I might get struck by lightning right now, but I put grated cheese on top.
I do too.
You know?
I do too.
Yeah, well,
And people go,
some
"Oh,
people
you're not
will.
supposed to."
Yeah, some people go, "Oh my gosh, you put
Right.
grated cheese on fish." You know, it's like
I do.
you
I
do
like
what you
it.
like.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
you
I
do.
like it.
You
Did
do
you
what you
ever go
like.
to the Lobster Shack? It's kind of near you.
My wife has been there. I've never been there. My wife
You
has
got
been there a couple of times.
you got to go in there and try the Mulberry Street Galamad.
Okay.
It's like you'll love it. You'll love it. It's and they have amazing food in there. They really do. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna recommend.
I will.
We actually the owner, his name is Greg, and he owns a lot of the Puglia restaurants, that kind of thing. He just opened up another
Uh-huh.
Puglia, but you would love it. I mean, that the food is pretty amazing in there. I have to say that. As a matter of fact, one of the guests is saying that she was at a restaurant and she ordered the